Hello everyone, welcome back to the Green Gold Farm Initiative channel, where we focus on avocado farming, organic avocado farming of course. My name is Dennis Aine, and of course I'm an engineer by profession, and I love farming. Farming is something I fell in love with. Yeah, so in today's video, we are going to talk about the advantages of growing avocado. One reason why we chose avocado, it is long lasting, it is sustainable, it can be there forever. These trees, when planted, they can exist for years and years, for generation and generation. For example, like you can compare these like coffee. These trees, you can compare them with coffee. But the advantage with this one, even when it has grown and it has reached its capacity, let's say after 50 years, you can decide to cut them and they will grow. They will grow again. So that's one of the biggest advantage. And on that case, for that reason, it gives a sense of security. You have an insurance. I want to say that sometimes us, or you who is watching, maybe you employed somewhere and you cannot rely on that job. The job is temporarily, because in case of anything, maybe you've lost that job, or God forbid, you've died. For example, like me, if I die, then somewhere where I'm working currently, it will not take like even a month before they advertise that job. And so it implies that if person have produced kids, of course at the moment I don't have kids, but say if I was having kids and or I have grandchildren and I lose that job or I die, no one will inherit that job. No one can come and claim that job that, look, this my dad was in this profession, he was a teacher, he was working here, or he was a doctor, he was a carpenter, and because he's my son, he will not be allowed to come and take over. But when you plant such trees, at least you're sure that even when you've left, when you've died, God forbid, of course that's where we are destined to. So obviously, when you die like this, then you leave an orchard like this, at least someone is there, not worried of what next. They are assured they can come to the orchard, harvest the fruits, have some income. Yeah, so that's the main reason. Because with the avocado farming, you are assured that year and after year and after year, you're getting money on those trees. You're getting something out of these trees. So to you who is watching, you can think of also starting an orchard, because where we are always working, we are there for some time, and you cannot retain that position forever or that job forever. So you need something like this. You can start something small and you keep adding. Yeah, so and then the second reason why, of course, the second advantage of avocado farming, it is because it has high revenues. Because now this farm is at third year, but we expect increase in the revenue on the fourth year, increase on the fifth year, so it keeps multiplying. I'm sure you've watched my video where I gave the figures of how much you can get from avocado farm. I did that video, and maybe I will put a link on my down there. I'll put a link so you can go and check it out. But the revenues are high, and this one you can actually, our brother and sister in Kenya, they have already proved this point that avocados revenue, the returns are so high. You can compare them with coffee, but it is way far with coffee. And that's the reason why our colleagues in Kenya are now cutting off removing the coffee plantations and establishing the avocado orchards. Yeah, so I think the returns, if you're to go into the calculation, the research has been done. It's no doubt when you put an avocado farm, then you're rest assured that the revenues, they are really, and they are annually. Every year you're expecting high returns, more than what you got previous year. So it's really so good. And then secondly, away from the revenues, where of course, like I said, there is a video I did and there are some figures I shared on how the returns come in. So thirdly, the most advantage of planting this avocado, it is less labor intensive. In other words, you don't need to, the labor, it's not so much like when you have planted like talk of passion fruits, or when you plant like tomatoes, or it's not so much labor intensive. I can tell you this because right now there are some, of course, some colleagues who are helping us to make holes where we are going to put manure, because these trees need to eat something. They need to be fed. So we are going to put manure, and then that's the reason why they are. But this is done like once in a year or 2 years. So you do that and you leave the trees. The rest is just maybe like slashing in the orchard and making sure that all the grass or the vegetation that is within the orchard is down, is at a lower level. So that's why you try to do that. Those are the simple jobs that can be done, and those are the only things. So mostly the higher, the most labor is during the initial stage, in the first year, where you have, of course, to ensure that you look up that tree and ensure that it comes up well. But going further, the tree will be there. You only need to come, and the labor you only have is for harvesting and probably putting manure. That's all. So in other words, when you look at other plants, this one is less labor intensive. To people who are working maybe in urban areas in the city, or you're very far from the farm, this one you can always visit once in a while. You don't need to be there all full time. So in other words, the supervision, you just need to get someone whom you can trust to be at the farm, just to just be monitoring and giving information. But there is not much work which needs like spraying or what, because I can tell you, since we planted these trees, we've never sprayed. You don't need to spray. We don't spray here. We don't spray. We don't. The jobs, the works that we have is maybe like pruning, reducing those branches to allow enough sunlight, and yeah, those are the few works that we have. So really, it is good and it is worth it to invest in. That is avocado farming. Then, of course, the third advantage, of course, the avocado has a long shelf life. So once you harvest your fruit like this, before it turns to come to this purple, because this is still green, when you harvest it like this, then it will take about like 2 weeks or even 3 weeks. So those are 21 days, 14 days for it to turn to this color. And once it starts turning into this color, it means it is almost getting about ripe, So you can see that's a long shelf life compared to our different varieties. And in this case, specifically, it is Hass avocado. You may say, let me put avocado what, but the one we are talking about and the one we are referring to, it is Hass avocado, as you can see. So this is the best variety, and really I would recommend everyone to come for this. to plant this because it is really something that is worth investing. Yeah, so its long shelf life, it implies that now when you harvest this one, as like a country like Uganda, which is landlocked, probably they want to transport to Europe by the sea. It means it is able to move on road up to Mombasa. Then from Mombasa, it can be shipped to any part of the world without being, without, say, ripening along the way. So you can transport it safely, or if you're transporting by air, well and good. But it is really so good, and that long shelf life is a very, very big advantage for it. And also its size, this size, it implies you can, to people who are, because in Europe you're not like us Africans whereby we are so many in a family. So if you're one, you can choose to buy a couple of these, and every day you choose, like in the morning I'll eat this, in the afternoon I'll eat this one, second in the evening you eat this one. So you eat a full avocado. But if you look on these other varieties that we have in within our local neighborhood, okay, the ones that have been here apart from Hass avocado, they are so big, so it implies you may not finish it if you're one person. But with this one, I'm sure you're able to consume. And second, actually the fifth advantage of this avocado farming is that the fruit itself, I think this has been said so many times, its nutrition value, it is way, way far compared to other fruits. The nutrition value in the avocado, especially this one, you can't list them. There are so many. So even when these colleagues in our neighbors in Kenya, when they are cutting off the coffee plantation and replacing it with avocado plantation, they are also good. They are trying to improve they are trying to improve the healthy living, because you try to look at someone who is taking much coffee every day. He's taking much coffee like on daily basis, and someone has chose to take avocado on daily basis. I'm sure in terms of healthy living, this one of avocado really will be on a very good side. It will be on a winning side. So it's also, apart from the revenues, this one, the avocado having high revenues, but its nutrition value is also high. So it's, our colleagues in Kenya, it's worth it. You can remove your coffee plantation and put avocado. After all, my 6th point is about the market. This one, it has a very high market. It has a high demand. Everyone is coming asking for these fruits. People need this fruit. The exporters are all excited about this fruit. So really, if you plant your orchard of avocado, then you're good to go. Yeah, so in summary, avocado, we've seen one reason. It is long. It can stay for years. In other words, it's a long-term investment. So implying, if you produce, your kid will benefit, even your grandkids, they can still benefit. It will be there for years, as long as the plantation exists. And then secondly, we also looked at the higher revenues that you can, of course, get from the orchard. It is way far beyond than of course, the other plants and crops. And also we looked at for the revenues, I I told you, like, of course I did a video where I did a breakdown of some revenues. I did an estimate based on the different market values and current market rates. So I did a video of how much it costs to how much you can get from avocado farm. So you can go and check it out. And then of course I talked of less labor intensive. It is less labor intensive. I also mentioned the higher nutrition value which it has, and because we want to promote a healthy living, a healthy eating habits, and we also looked at its size being a very good size. Thirdly, lastly, we also talked of long shelf life. In other words, this fruit can stay for good years and without being harmed. Actually, not years. It can stay for weeks without getting ripened, turning into this color. Yeah? So please, I urge you and really welcome you to avocado farming. In case maybe you also have an interest and you really been wondering, will it work out? I can assure you it will work out. It will definitely work out. Don't worry about anything. There are a few challenges to avocado, and you never go wrong with it. So thank you so much for watching the video, and please, in case maybe you've not subscribed, you can subscribe to the channel, and also you like the video, you also like, please, and share with your friends and people that you think maybe they can also benefit from this. So thank you so much, and bye for now.